Hiya fishy folks, and welcome back to Michael's Fish Room. Today's video is going to be on how to make healthy and strong and colorful guppies. Now my last video, which I'll link up here and down below, was on why are my guppies dying? And I just gotta say, that wasn't meant as clickbait. That was just like me thinking, right? I know it was clickbait, but it wasn't meant to be. Sometimes I do make clickbait. That wasn't one of the times. Anyway, let's get back to this video. So you buy guppies and they look blah, or you know, you have guppies that last 9 months. They're not great. So I'm gonna give you some tips and tricks that I use in my fish room to make healthy, strong, and sexy looking guppies. Before we get into that, do me a favor, if you haven't done so already, please consider subscribing to this channel, Michael's Fish Room. And of course, grab a snack and a beverage and let me know down below what the snack and beverage is. Stand by. Alright fishy folks, we're back. How to make healthy and strong and good looking guppies. Now, I'm going to give you a couple of tips, like I said, that I use in my fish room. What you do or someone else does, that's fine. If it works for you, it's good for you. This is what works for me. Try it, don't try it, watch the video in its entirety 2 or 3 times. I appreciate that. And we'll go from there. So the first thing, and probably the most important and easiest, is a good diet for the guppies. If you go out and just buy one type of food, even if it's a high quality food, that's not a good diet. I tend to like some of the more premium brands. I like the Cobalt Guppy Ultra Guppy pellet, and of course this is a ginormous tub because I have 55 tanks. 54 of them have guppies in it, so you know I go through this. It'll probably take me 6 months, but you know that's a while to go through guppy food, right? It floats, it sinks, it's got great ingredients. I've talked about it before. Of course I buy it at Super Cichlids, which I'll be going to shortly today. Actually, it's Sunday. But like I said, good quality food. I love this food. I also really like the Northfin Community Flake. I'm a fan of Northfin food in general, but for guppies, most of what they make is too big. I have to use my pepper mill to grind up, you know, some of their bigger foods. So, but this flake food is really good. The guppies really like it, and it's got great ingredients as well. So here's another high quality food. Some of the other foods I feed regularly now, the Northfin Flake and the pellets, the Ultra Pellets, Guppy Pellet, I feed every day. At least one of them they get every day. Sometimes they get both every day, but in the second feeding, I feed this New Life Spectrum Grow. I really like it. It's a little smaller than the Guppy Pellet, which is nice. The Guppy Pellet is great for juvenile and adult guppies, but it's a little big for the fry, so this is a little smaller. I think this is 0.6 mil. I think this is 0.4 to 0.5 mil, so it's a little smaller. Most guppy fry will be able to at least nibble on it. It's got a lot of protein, 45% protein, and great ingredients as well. The other couple things that I feed, I like the Bug Pro from Northfin, which I've talked about recently, and they like to nibble on that. It sinks, so they nibble on it in the, you know, on the floor of the tank. But here's a Japanese brand guppy food that I picked up many years ago on one of my first trips to Japan. It's Hikari. You can't buy it here. It's their premium brand. I've been trying to import it so I could sell it because I really, really like it. I have some friends coming over, some colleagues coming over. They're going to bring me a couple cans. If you're interested in buying this, let me know in the comments down below. And I'll see what I can do. It's 0.50 grams, so it's half a. That's weird. Oh, it's 50 grams. Ha! I can't read. And what I like about it, and I think I've talked about it before, but it already comes pretty small, right? So I do crush mine up a little bit for the fry, but it's great, and it's got great ingredients. It's a little more high quality than I think the Hikari we get here in the United States for the most part. So that's the first and probably the easiest and most important for you guys to make good, healthy, strong guppies. The second thing is your water quality. And I just mean your water quality should be fine. No, seriously. water quality is very important. 0 ammonia, 0 nitrates, and low nitrates. Now, what does low nitrates mean? For me, under 40. For you, it might be under 20. It doesn't really matter, as long as it's low, under 40, I would say. The other thing about water quality is the hardness. Guppies like hard water. You have to make sure your water is on the hard side. And if it's not, if you're going to amend it somehow, make sure you keep that consistent. Don't let it drop, the hardness drop, because that'll kick the guppy's ass a little bit. Also, pH. They like a little higher pH. My pH is about 7.2. I've gotten guppies, you know, from breeders in the 6s and in the 8s, and they're fine because they're healthy and strong to begin with. So a stable pH is much more important than a high pH for guppies, and for most fish, I believe. So water quality, as I said, 0 ammonia, 0 nitrites, less than 40 nitrates, higher pH, over 7 pH, I would say, higher hardness, moderately hard water is good. Temperature wise, I mean, I've bred guppies in 70, 71, no problem. They're a little slower to breed and a little slower to grow, but you know, anywhere 74 to 78, whatever you can afford is fine. All right, the third thing, and I guess it's within your control, but sometimes not, is starting with a good quality stock to begin with. Now, I'm not saying the crap you buy at the big box stores, you can't help, right? You can't do anything about. You can get crappy genetics and make them stronger, make them healthy, make them look better, but the original guppies that you get, that you want to breed, should be the highest quality you can find. That doesn't mean you have to buy from me or Super Breeder Doug or wherever. They just need to be high quality. How do you know a high quality guppy? You might not be able to. I can make a big box guppy look good. That doesn't mean it's got good genetics and gonna breed well. So you sort of gotta trust the people that you buy from. Do some research, talk to some people, look at reviews. High quality stock is important. The next thing I'm gonna tell you is quarantining your fish, which I talk about a lot and yet people don't do it. So real quick, my quarantine process is I plop and drop the guppies into a tank, usually a 20. I usually start when I get new guppies in a 20. I let them kind of acclimate, get used to the water for about 12 hours. Of course, I temperature acclimate first, but I'm just saying get used to their surroundings, try to de-stress. Then I hit them with Furan 2, and the Furan 2 will take care of stuff on the outside of the guppy. This is a replacement for EM erythromycin. This will take care of gram-positive and gram-negative. EM erythromycin will only take care of one. And then I hit them with a Genera Cure. That's for internal stuff. Now, it may or may not take care of internal parasites, and I'll get to that in a second. But it takes care of most stuff. Now, this process that I'm telling you about, the quarantine process, as I said before, is very similar to Corey from Aquarium Co-op's original process that he released like 3 years ago or something. He since has changed, I believe. I think he's changed manufacturers for whatever reason, or suppliers of meds for whatever reason. I happen to like the API stuff. It's always worked for me, so I continue with it. The third thing I use is the Aquarium Solutions ICX, and that's to take care of ick and some other stuff on the outside of the fish. While they're in quarantine, I also hit them with the Everything Aquatic medicated food, fenbendazole flake, levamisole flake, or pellet. And I use this per the direction. Just like feed 2 or 3 times as the only food, and then wait. And that's what I do. And I usually start that on day 2 of quarantine. And the reason is I want to make sure the fish that I'm breeding and selling to you are healthy. Now, again, I just want to stop for a second. This is what works for me, Michael from Michael's Fish Room. I'm not saying this is the best. I'm not saying you have to do this. I'm saying it works for me. I'm a little annoyed when people say, oh, but you should do this or you should do that, or on Facebook groups. No, that's the wrong way. If it's working, it's the right way. And it's working for me, so that's what I'm doing. What you do, how you quarantine, what you use, how long you do it, up to you. Plop and drop after temperature acclimating. About 12 hours later, hit them with the trio of meds. Whatever the amount of water is, that's what I use. So you know, 1 scoop of this stuff for 20 gallons. That's what I use. Then I hit them with all 3, and that's it. No water changes for a week, and I observe. If I see anything, I treat specifically for that. If I don't see anything, after a week, I start water changes again, and then they're ready to go, as far as I'm concerned. And that includes the medicated fish food as well. Occasionally, in my fish room, I will also hit everything with medicated fish food as per the directions every couple months, just to make sure in case I miss something. I don't want to sell fish that are sick. I'm sure it's happened because I'm not perfect, but I don't want to do it if I can avoid it. You know what I'm saying? So there you go. All right, fishy folks. One more quick tip. It's really 2 tips, but it's for the same reason. I like sponge filters or box filters because they create less current. And the sponge filters give the guppy fry and other guppies a place to nibble, to eat on, like a smorgasbord of yummy, delicious goodness all day long to stay healthy. And the same thing is, I like lots of plants, so the females can hide from the males, because, you know, the males are horny little bastards, and all they want to do is... So that's going to tire the females out. So you got to give them a place to hide to get away from the boys, and also drop fry if that's what you're looking for. If you're not looking for fry, then don't give them hiding spots, and the fry will be eaten because they're tender and delicious. Anyway, those are my tips and tricks on how to get healthy and strong and sexy looking guppies. Hope you guys liked it. Don't forget to check out my cooking channel, Michael's Eats, and if you like these shirts that I have, this one says powered by bacon. If you like them and want to buy one, check out my Teespring store. I produced a bunch of different shirts for the cooking channel. People buy the shirts, I make a couple bucks. That helps with the ingredients for the shirt, for the channel. Plus they're cool. So that's that. Let me know down in the comments below what you do to make your guppies healthy and strong. Have a great day. Alright, so plop and drop after temperature. This one says powered by bacon, not baking. Hope you guys liked it. Let me know down in the comments below. Wow.